There comes a moment in a person's life when the ordinary air around them feels different, when the atmosphere seems to shift, and when their heart senses something they can't quite explain. That moment is often misunderstood, overlooked, or dismissed. But today I want you to listen closely, because what you are feeling right now is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is not a random stirring. It is God speaking directly into the deepest places of your soul. God is saying, I'm sending favor to locate you. These are not empty words. These are not soft promises. These are not gentle whispers meant to make you feel better for a moment. These are divine words filled with power, intention, and unstoppable force. When God speaks favor over your life, everything around you begins to shift in your direction. What was once out of reach begins moving toward you. What once seemed impossible becomes the very thing that finds you. You don't chase it. You don't strive for it. You don't beg for it. It comes looking for you because God sent it with your name on it. There are seasons when you walk through life feeling unnoticed, unheard, and unrecognized. You pray and it feels like nothing moves. You work and it feels like nothing changes. You do the right thing, yet nothing seems to reward you. You feel hidden in the shadows, tucked away in places where no one sees the battles you're fighting. But let me tell you something powerful. Being hidden does not mean being forgotten. Being unseen does not mean being unvalued. Being overlooked does not mean being rejected. God hides people before He reveals them. God conceals them before He promotes them. God allows seasons of isolation so He can prepare them for seasons of elevation. And just because people cannot see what God is doing in you does not mean God is not working. The silence of your season is not the absence of His hand. It is the groundwork He is laying before favor arrives. There are times when God allows life to press you, shake you, and stretch you, not because He wants to break you, but because He is anchoring you. He is strengthening your roots so the weight of your future blessing does not crush you. You may think you're being delayed, but you are being developed. You may think you're being denied, but you are being refined. You may think you're being held back, but you are being held together. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It is preparation. And while you're wondering when God will show up for you, God is whispering, hold on. I'm not only showing up, I'm sending favor ahead of you. It is going to find you. God's favor is not a small thing. It is not a light blessing or a gentle touch. When God sends favor, it overrides everything that once limited you. It breaks cycles. It lifts burdens. It tears down walls. It opens doors that were once sealed shut. It shifts people's hearts. It reorganizes your path. It realigns every detail of your life. It corrects what was broken. It restores what was lost. It rebuilds what collapsed. It strengthens what weakened. It revives what died. When God sends favor, you cannot stay in the same place. Favor disrupts stagnation. Favor interrupts delay. Favor breaks resistance. Favor accelerates your journey. Favor transforms the environment around you because it carries the authority of God Himself. You may be facing situations right now that look impossible. You may feel surrounded by problems that refuse to move. You may be standing in front of obstacles that won't budge. But hear this clearly. Favor does not need permission from your circumstances. Favor does not negotiate with your obstacles. Favor does not bow to your challenges. Favor does not ask your enemies for approval. When God sends favor to locate you, nothing can stand against it. Not people, not systems, not opposition, not interference, not spiritual resistance, not fear, not doubt, not the past, not the present, not anything that attempts to delay your destiny. God's favor breaks through every barrier because God Himself backs it. Some of you have been praying for years for a breakthrough. You've waited, you've endured, you've cried, you've sacrificed, and you've stayed faithful even when your heart was weary and it felt like nothing moved. But listen to me. God has not ignored one prayer you prayed in the quiet places. God has not overlooked one tear you shed in the dark. God has not dismissed one moment of pain you carried with a brave face. God has not forgotten the seed you planted when you had little to give. God has not ignored the kindness you showed when no one thanked you. God has seen every bit of your faithfulness, and not one moment has been wasted. You are standing in front of a season where all the unseen obedience, all the hidden faith, all the quiet strength, and all the silent endurance is about to be rewarded. God's favor is coming to locate you because He has watched you stand your ground through storms that tried to destroy you. Some of you have lived through seasons where people turned their backs on you. They doubted you, underestimated you, abandoned you, and dismissed your worth. They thought you would never rise. They believed you would crumble. They assumed you would never recover. They walked away believing the story of your life was finished. But what they didn't realize is that God writes the final chapter. People can speak, but God decides. People can judge, but God establishes. People can doubt, but God fulfills. And now God is sending favor to locate you in front of the very people who counted you out, not to shame them, not to prove them wrong, but to show that God's hand on a person's life cannot be stopped by human opinions. Favor is coming to lift you to places you were never expected to reach. Favor is coming to elevate you in ways no one predicted. Favor is coming to restore everything you lost in seasons of betrayal. Some of you are tired, not physically tired, but tired in your soul. Tired of waiting, tired of believing, tired of hoping, tired of holding on. You feel like your strength is running out and your faith is stretched thin. But hear me, this is often the moment right before favor arrives. The enemy always tries to wear you down before God lifts you up. He tries to make you surrender right before God shifts your life. He tries to discourage you right before God sends favor. But if you can hold on a little longer, if you can keep standing even when it feels hard, if you can keep trusting even when it feels silent, you are going to see God release something you never imagined. You are not at the end. You are at the brink. You are not forgotten. You are positioned. You are not abandoned. You are being located by favor. Let me tell you what it means when God says, I'm sending favor to locate you. It means the blessing is already on the move. It means the answer is already released. It means the breakthrough is already scheduled. It means the opportunity is already prepared. It means the right people are already aligned. It means the path is already cleared. It means the resources are already designated. It means the shift is already in motion. The only thing left is for favor to reach where you are. And when God sends favor, it does not get lost. It does not get delayed. It does not get misdirected. It goes straight to the place where God intends it to land. Some of you feel like you're behind in life. You look at others and wonder why things came easier for them. You wonder why your path has been harder, longer, and more painful. But hear me, what took others a short time may take you longer, not because God forgot you, but because God is preparing a different kind of favor for you. What others received quickly came without the depth of the preparation God gave you. You're not late, you're being aligned. You're not behind, you're being refined. When favor finds you, it will not be ordinary. It will not be average. It will not be temporary. It will be the kind of favor that changes everything, because it will be the kind of favor that God Himself orchestrated. Some of you feel stuck in places that seem too heavy to escape. You're carrying burdens that feel too deep to lift. You're facing fears that seem too powerful to conquer. But when God sends favor to locate you, it comes with the strength to push you forward. It comes with the courage to renew your spirit. It comes with the clarity to guide your steps. It comes with the assurance to tell your soul, you were not built to stay stuck. You were created to rise. Favor has a way of shifting everything around you in a moment. You may have spent years trying to change something with no success. But when favor arrives, what resisted you for years can move in seconds. God is saying, I'm sending favor to locate you because this is your appointed time. This is your season of divine acceleration. This is your moment of supernatural alignment. You are entering a time where what used to be hard will become easier. What used to block you will open. What used to confuse you will become clear. What used to weigh you down will fall off. What used to drain you will lose its grip. God is not sending favor to make you comfortable. He is sending favor to move you into the purpose He prepared for you all along. Some of you have dreams that have been buried under years of disappointment. You stopped believing certain things were possible because life told you otherwise. But God is saying, I am sending favor to resurrect what you thought was dead. Dreams that seemed forgotten will come alive again. Opportunities that slipped through your fingers will return. Doors that closed will reopen with greater strength. Paths you thought were gone will be restored. God's favor does not just open new things. It revives old things. It brings back what was lost. It restores what was taken. It rebuilds what collapsed. It breathes life into what you thought would never rise again. There are moments when God allows you to walk through seasons that stretch your faith. Seasons where everything seems uncertain. Seasons where every step feels risky. Seasons where nothing makes sense. But faith that is never tested can never grow. And now that you have walked through the test, now that you have endured the pressure, now that you have stayed faithful through the struggle, God is sending favor as your confirmation that you were never alone. Favor is the sign that your endurance mattered. Favor is the evidence that your faith was seen. Favor is the reminder that God has been with you every step of the way. Some blessings God gives instantly. Others He prepares over time. And some blessings are so large, so significant, so transformational that God waits until the perfect moment to release them. You are entering that moment. The things you prayed for, the things you waited for, the things you thought were delayed are not only coming, they're coming with favor attached to them. When God sends favor, it does not arrive empty. It arrives with abundance, increase, protection, guidance, and divine order. You may not see the full picture right now, but you don't have to. When God sends favor, it reveals what you couldn't see. It explains what you couldn't understand. It justifies what didn't make sense. It clarifies why certain things had to happen the way they did. It shows you why certain people walked away, why certain doors closed, why certain paths shifted, and why certain delays took place. Favor reveals God's strategy. Favor exposes God's intention. Favor unveils God's plan. Some of you think you've lost too much time, too many opportunities, too many years. But when favor locates you, God restores what you thought was gone. He redeems what you thought was wasted. He accelerates what you thought was delayed. One moment of God's favor can make up for years of struggle. One touch of God's favor can restore everything the enemy tried to take. One wave of God's favor can lift you to a place you should have reached long ago. You are not waiting for favor. Favor is already on its way. You don't need to chase it. It's coming to you. You don't need to beg for it. It's been assigned to you. You don't need to fight for it. God already released it. Favor is coming to locate you in the place where you stand. And when it arrives, your life will shift in ways you cannot deny. Stand ready. Live expectantly. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit steady. Keep your faith strong. Because God is saying, I'm sending favor to locate you, and nothing can stop what God has already set in motion. There are moments when God prepares a blessing that is so precise, so deliberate, and so divinely crafted that nothing in your past, nothing in your present, and nothing waiting in your future can interfere with it. This is the kind of favor God is sending toward you. It is not a general blessing. It is not a casual blessing. It is a targeted release from the throne of God with your identity woven into its very design. Favor like this does not come often. Favor like this does not fall randomly. Favor like this arrives only when God decides that the season of struggle has served its purpose and the season of rising has begun. And when God declares that it is time, No delay can stand, no obstruction can remain, and no opposition can hold ground. What God sends must reach its destination. If you could see what is moving toward you, you would not be discouraged for another moment. If you could see the doors God has unlocked, the paths God has smoothed, the hearts God has softened, the opportunities God has stirred awake, and the blessings God has commanded, you would understand why the battle intensified right before this moment. The pressure was a sign that something powerful was drawing near. The resistance increased because favor was getting close. The enemy tried to exhaust you because he sensed that God had already released something that would lift your life out of limitation. The darkness around you grew heavier because your breakthrough was beginning to push through. When favor is coming, the atmosphere shifts before it arrives. You feel it before you see it. You sense it before you hold it. Your spirit knows something is changing even when your eyes cannot yet trace it. God does not send favor based on your perfection. God sends favor based on His purpose. He sees your flaws, yet He still sends it. He sees your mistakes, yet He still appoints it. He sees your weaknesses, yet He still releases it. God does not wait for you to qualify yourself. God qualifies those He chooses to elevate. And the favor coming to you is not because you earned it with flawless behavior, but because you endured what others never saw. You stayed grounded when everything around you felt unstable. You held on to faith when doubt tried to drown you. You pushed forward when nothing encouraged you. And God is responding to your perseverance with a blessing that does not match your effort, but matches His greatness. This is the beauty of divine favor. It comes from the unlimited power of God, not the limited strength of humans. Human approval can lift you for a moment, but God's favor can lift you for a lifetime. Human opportunities can take you a short distance, but God's favor can take you further than your ability, your education, your connections, your resources, or your experience ever could. Human support can collapse without warning, but God's favor stands firm even when the world shakes. That is why God is sending favor to locate you, because He knows the future ahead of you requires something greater than human help. You need divine help. You need divine alignment. You need divine protection. You need divine direction. You need divine acceleration. And God is releasing exactly what your destiny requires. Some of you have been carrying wounds that no one knows about. You've been holding pain behind a quiet smile, trying to push through your days while your heart wrestles with battles that feel too heavy to share. But God has seen every moment of inward suffering, and the favor He is sending is not only coming to lift your life, it is coming to heal your soul. It is coming to restore the places that were broken. It is coming to calm the storms within you. The favor of God does not simply change your circumstances. It changes your spirit. It settles you. It strengthens you. It breathes peace into your anxious thoughts. It removes the bitterness from old wounds. It frees you from the weight of old memories. It brings rest to the places inside you that have been weary for years. God is not sending favor to decorate your life. He is sending favor to transform it. Favor is coming to break generational patterns that have lingered in your family line. Favor is coming to lift you out of cycles you thought you would never break. Favor is coming to open pathways that no one in your bloodline ever walked. Favor is coming to rewrite your story so that those who come after you stand on a foundation stronger than the one you inherited. You were not chosen to repeat the struggles that came before you. God selected you to rise above them. And the favor that is heading toward you is going to mark a turning point, not only for your life, but for everything connected to you. There are times when God allows delays to protect you. What you thought was rejection was protection. What you thought was failure was redirection. What you thought was loss was preparation for something far greater. God did not withhold it from you. God held it back until the environment was safe enough, the timing was right enough, and your spirit was strong enough to receive it. Favor arriving too early destroys people. Favor arriving too late frustrates them. But favor arriving at God's appointed time establishes them. You are stepping into that appointed time. The season that once felt like endless waiting will soon make sense when favor arrives and everything begins to align with clarity. You may feel like your life is moving slowly, but God works differently than people. People rush, God prepares. People hurry, God perfects. People get impatient, God makes things ready. And now God has brought your life to a place where the preparation is complete. The waiting was not wasted. The stillness was not silence. The delay was not denial. You were being positioned for a level of favor that requires maturity, wisdom, strength, and discernment. God does not want you to carry a blessing you are not ready to sustain. That is why you walked through valleys that sharpened your endurance. That is why you faced setbacks that trained your resilience. That is why you experienced heartbreak that deepened your compassion. Every moment has shaped you for the favor that is coming. There is favor coming that will reveal why certain people could not stay in your life. They were not built for the version of you that is emerging. They were not aligned with the path God prepared. They were not meant to sit at the table. God is preparing for you. And God in His wisdom removed them before favor arrived so they wouldn't pollute the blessing, drain the increase, or sabotage the elevation. It hurt when they left, but the departure was divine. God separated you from what would have suffocated your future. The next season requires cleaner circles, stronger connections, and more aligned relationships. Favor is too precious to be shared with those who cannot honor it. There is favor coming that will silence every voice that spoke doubt over your life, not because you need revenge, but because God is about to vindicate you. God is about to confirm what He placed inside you. God is about to show that His hand has been guiding you all along. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to argue your value. You do not need to plead your case. Favor will speak for you. Favor will reveal you. Favor will elevate you in ways that cannot be denied. Favor will show that God has been shaping you for something far greater than the assumptions of others. You may feel unprepared, but God does not send favor where it cannot function. God has prepared you more deeply than you realize. He has built character inside you when no one was watching. He has strengthened your endurance through battles no one understood. He has sharpened your insight through experiences that felt like setbacks. He has expanded your capacity through seasons that stretched you beyond comfort. You are far more equipped than you think. And when favor arrives, you will rise into responsibilities, opportunities, and environments that once intimidated you, but now feel like the very places you belong. God's favor carries authority. When it enters a room, things shift. When it enters your life, things transform. When it touches your path, obstacles dissolve. When it settles on your name, doors open. When it rests on your efforts, results multiply. And when it covers your destiny, no force on earth or in the unseen realm can interfere with what God has ordained. This is the kind of favor God is sending to locate you. Not fragile favor, not partial favor, not temporary favor, but favor with authority, favor with permanence, favor with purpose, favor with power. You may have felt like you were forgotten, but God has been orchestrating something far beyond what you imagined. You may have walked through long nights of confusion, but God has been aligning the dawn. You may have carried silent burdens, but God has been preparing a release. You may have navigated seasons of loneliness, but God has been setting apart your spirit for something rare and remarkable. And now, the moment is drawing near. The turning point is approaching. The shift is unfolding. Favor is coming, and it will not miss you. So keep your heart steady. Keep your faith alive. Keep your spirit open, because God is saying, I am sending favor to locate you. And nothing can stop what God has already begun. There comes a time when God begins to stir the unseen realm in ways your natural eyes cannot detect. You may not notice anything shifting around you, but everything is shifting for you. When God sends favor, the spiritual world becomes active long before your physical world shows any sign of change. Paths begin to rearrange. Hearts begin to move. Opportunities begin to awaken. What once lay dormant begins to rise. God starts orchestrating connections, aligning conversations, positioning people, and setting events in motion that will eventually intersect with your life at the exact moment He appoints. What feels like silence to you is strategy to God. What feels like stillness to you is divine construction. And the favor He is sending is moving through dimensions you cannot see, preparing a reality you're about to step into. God's favor is not random, it is strategic. It is not scattered, it is targeted. It does not wander, it is directed. When God releases favor, it travels with accuracy. It does not roam through the world hoping to find the right recipient. It already knows your spirit, your journey, your scars, your strength, and your identity. Favor knows exactly where you stand, even when life has hidden you from people. Being overlooked by humans does not make you invisible to God. Being dismissed by others does not erase your value before Him. God sends favor to those He has prepared, refined, and set apart, even when others fail to notice the preparation happening within. There are blessings that arrive easily, and then there are blessings that come after a long battle. The second kind is what builds you. The second kind is what shapes your spirit into something unshakable. And often, the favor God sends after a long battle is greater than anything you expected, because it carries the weight of everything you endured. Some blessings come to you, but others come through you. These are the blessings that require strength, discipline, faith, endurance, and a heart that refuses to break under pressure. This is the type of blessing God is releasing to you. Not a shallow blessing, not a fragile blessing, but one that has been refined through the fire of your trials and molded through the tears of your nights. God knows how long you've waited. God knows how many times you've questioned the timing. God knows how many nights you lay awake wondering whether the breakthrough would ever come. God knows how often you pushed forward even when you felt like collapsing. This favor is not simply an answer, it is a response to everything you've survived. It is the harvest of seeds you planted in seasons when the soil felt unyielding. It is the reward for faith you held when doubt tried to suffocate you. It is the divine acknowledgement that you stood firm when the storm could have shattered you. And now God is honoring what you endured by sending a blessing that reflects His faithfulness rather than your limits. Sometimes the greatest battles come right before favor arrives. And you may have wondered why life intensified so sharply. But that pressure was not meant to crush you. It was meant to reveal what is inside you. Diamonds form under pressure. Strength emerges through resistance. Endurance grows through struggle. There were layers of insecurity, fear, and doubt that could not follow you into the next season. These battles stripped them away. These battles sharpened your spiritual vision. These battles taught you to depend on God more deeply. And now, with a purified heart, you are ready for the kind of favor that requires a spirit anchored by conviction, not comfort. God's favor does not come to decorate your life. It comes to expand it. You will think differently. You will walk differently. You will rise with a confidence that is not rooted in pride, but rooted in the awareness that God is the one who empowers you. You will speak with authority, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because you have survived too much to doubt God now. Favor changes your posture. Favor realigns your identity. Favor makes you step into rooms with clarity rather than hesitation. It makes you pursue opportunities with boldness rather than fear. It gives you a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken by opinions or circumstances. God is sending this kind of favor because the assignment He placed over your life requires a stronger version of you. The favor coming toward you will also expose what does not belong in your life anymore. When God lifts you, anything that is not aligned with your growth will be stripped away. Not to hurt you, but to protect you. God removes people who would mishandle your blessing. God removes distractions that would derail your progress. God removes environments that would suffocate your potential. God removes habits that would weaken your spirit. Every separation you endured was intentional, not accidental. God was making room for what He had prepared for you. Favor requires space, and God cleared that space long before you understood what He was doing. There are blessings that require you to change your environment, but there are also blessings where God changes the environment for you. This is the season where God shifts the atmosphere before you arrive. You are not walking into the next chapter as the same person you once were, and God is not sending you into your future without preparing the ground. He is softening hearts that once would have resisted you. He is opening doors that were previously bolted shut. He is dismantling barriers that stood in your way for years. He is making people remember you, think of you, call you, or choose you for reasons even they cannot explain. This is favor at work. It is not natural, it is divine. Some blessings you will step into without effort because God has already completed the work behind the scene. These are the blessings where everything aligns with ease, not because you didn't struggle in the past, but because you struggled enough. God has seen your labor. God has seen your tears. God has seen your perseverance. Now He is allowing certain chapters to flow smoothly, not to spoil you, but to show you that He is the one carrying you. The ease you are about to experience is not laziness. It is divine assistance. It is the reward for wars you fought in silence. Favor often comes wrapped in responsibility. God does not send increase to those who will waste it. God does not send influence to those who will misuse it. God does not send opportunities to those who will ignore them. That is why He spent years molding your character. You had to learn discipline when no one was looking. You had to learn humility when you attempted to prove yourself. You had to learn patience when you wanted to rush ahead. You had to learn wisdom through experiences that felt painful. Now, when favor reaches you, you will carry it with maturity instead of arrogance, stewardship instead of recklessness, gratitude instead of entitlement. There is a level of favor that lifts you so distinctly that people wonder how you arrived where you are. They will see the blessing but not the battle. They will witness the abundance but not the nights you cried. They will admire the elevation but never understand the valleys you walked. And you will not need to defend the blessing or explain the rise. When God sends favor, He sends it publicly to honor what you endured privately. You will stand in places that once felt impossible. You will receive opportunities that once felt unreachable. You will rise to heights that once felt unthinkable. Not because you forced it, but because God ordained it. You are entering a chapter where you will not chase blessings anymore. Blessings will chase you. You will not beg for open doors. Doors will open because God commanded them to. You will not fear opportunities slipping away. What is meant for you cannot be taken from you. God's favor is on assignment, and its destination is your life. Stand firm. Stay aligned. Keep your heart open, because God is saying, I am sending favor to locate you, and when it arrives, nothing will remain the same. There comes a moment in every life when God calls the heart to rise, not quietly, not softly, but with a force that shakes the spirit awake. You are standing in that moment right now. You are not hearing these words by accident. Something within you has been stirring, reaching, stretching, longing for clarity, longing for renewal, longing for direction. And God is answering that longing by calling you to stand, to look up, to breathe deeply, and to open your life in a way you may have never opened it before. God is sending favor to locate you, but He is also calling you to position your heart to receive it. A blessing can be sent, but the Spirit must be ready to hold it. So examine your life. Look at the places where you have settled into comfort, where you have accepted defeat, where you have allowed fear to silence your boldness, where you have permitted doubt to weaken your confidence. Look at the paths you have walked and ask yourself whether those paths have drawn you closer to God or pulled you away. Look at the habits, the relationships, the decisions, and the priorities that shape your days. There is no favoritism with God, but there is alignment. When a heart is aligned with God, favor finds it with ease. When a life is surrendered to God, blessings arrive with clarity. When the spirit is centered on God, strength rises, peace deepens, and purpose awakens. This is your call to realign your life with the one who gives it breath. This is your moment to release what has been draining you, to let go of what has been diminishing you, to walk away from anything that has been weakening your spirit. God is not calling you to perfection. He is calling you to sincerity. He is inviting you to rise with intention, to choose Him above your fears, to trust Him beyond your understanding, to believe Him more than the noise around you. God is ready to pour favor into you, but He is asking you to make room in your mind, room in your heart, room in your life. Lift your spirit, lift your faith, lift your expectations. Choose to walk with God in a way that reflects your reverence for Him. Choose to speak words that honor Him. Live in a manner that respects Him. Make decisions that reflect trust in Him. When you do, you become a vessel that God can fill, a path God can use, a light God can elevate. The world does not need more noise. It needs more people who walk with God in quiet strength and steady faith. The world does not need more fear. It needs more hearts anchored in God's guidance. The world does not need more doubt. It needs more spirits confident that God's hand is still at work in ways beyond human sight. Let this be the moment where your life turns. Let this be the moment where you step out of hesitation and step into conviction. Let this be the moment where your faith becomes deeper than your questions and stronger than your circumstances. God is calling you to rise, to trust, to surrender, and to move forward with a courage that reflects the favor He is sending. Your life has purpose. Your journey has meaning. Your spirit has value. And God has not forgotten you for a single moment. Walk with God. Seek God. Honor God. And watch how everything within you begins to shift the path ahead.